Oh, child, I clearly realized that I did not romance the public's ego yesterday. And sometimes, yes, it is true. When I talk about the realities of Nigeria, it pinches, it hurts. Because the truth is, nobody wants to remove those rose colored glasses and actually look at the problem we have here. And I think I'm going to be doing more videos like this because, in order to demand the change that you don't even know you deserve, you would have to make a lot of people uncomfortable. You would have to force them to be accountable. And we have a real problem called whataboutism. And you know what that is? That is the ability to deflect from a crisis by bringing another situation up without solving the first one. And let me state out some of the things I was called yesterday. Now, some people said I was very negative. I'm a very negative person, which is so not me, but cool with that. Some people said I am demarketing Nigeria. Some other people said, well, if you don't like Nigeria that much, you should go back because after all, you can leave Nigeria. Listen, this is my country. You is not more Nigerian than I is, okay? You feel that English? What I meant is you are not more Nigerian than I am. Do you understand? Now, even in comparison to majority of Nigerians, I have had the privilege of traveling through the 36 states. I have been to majority of the places which were posted, but sadly, majority of you, more than 50% of the population, will not have that luxury to do that because again, there is insecurities. I don't know how to sugarcoat to make people feel comfortable when this is the reality. And when I say this about whataboutism, why don't we ever? I love how whenever we talk about the ills of Nigeria or our bad leaders and everything, a lot of people jump to, oh, but in the US, there's a crime rate and there's a this and there's that. Please, why are you not using that same energy to compare Nigeria in a positive way to other countries? Let's even talk about the basic things in other countries. Electricity. That is the basic 24 hours electricity in every country. Even other African countries are doing better than us. Good water supply, clean water supply, basic. Good public transportation, buses that could show up on time, trains, everything. Where are they? Okay, we're not going to talk about that. Good infrastructure. We're not going to speak about that, no. Let's talk about how other countries, when their leaders manipulate the public or do rubbish with the funds and everything, they are called to justice. But we're not going to speak about that because in our country here, once you're a leader and you have power, you have money, you are exempt from everything. The laws only apply to Nigerians. Let's speak about that, though. Let's not talk about the little violence that happens here and there. Let's talk about you going to the same America you speak about so dearly and tell me, do you ever feel panic? Do you feel panic when you move around their city? Because in Romania, you can actually get up in your car by 3, 4 in the morning and decide to drive to the beach or drive to the mountains. Or you know what? Drive all the way to Greece. And at any point in that journey, you can stop, take a nap, wake up and not feel like you need to say 10,000 prayers to work. Let's talk about other countries. The half of the prayers that you guys make in Nigeria, you don't even need to pray those things. The only thing you need to worry about doing is thanking God for the greatness he has bestowed upon you. That's all you have to pray for. But when we're here, we know how to even speak in tongues because guess what? English isn't enough to translate our message to God directly. We have to tweak it. Let's talk about that because one thing I know for a fact, yes, I have dual citizenship. Yes, I have the privilege to leave at any time. And mind you, it is easy for me. I get to go to 150 countries without visa. And even those countries that I need to take a visa, I get it like that. It is easy. But I'll be a tout. I'll be a damn fool if I sit down and be quiet when I see people I don't even know cry. Let's not talk. You know what? Tell me the last time you guys woke up and felt comfortable that that you could open your social media platforms and you don't see something negative. Or are you trying to tell me that all the insecurities and all the negative stories we see are completely fabricated by the so-called content creators because someone says, oh, I'm doing this to trend? You think my job is to try to make Nigeria sound bad to anyone? And then someone said, you know what, my video is affecting the borrowing power of Nigeria, the government. Are we serious? First of all, tell me one thing you have profited, or the average Nigeria has profited from all the money being borrowed. I just want to know one. Because we keep acting like Nigeria is a poor country and is a miserable country, but it isn't. But where's all this money going to? Let's speak about that, for the love of God. Oh, and the one that really ticked me off is the one who said, you know what, allow these foreigners do what they have to do. At least they'll be able to bring more foreigners here to invest in Nigeria, and it will be safer for Nigerians. Really? This mentality of putting yourself on the bottom, you think that all we deserve is waiting for foreigners to come into our country so we can feel safe? You don't see how that sounds stupid? You don't see how that sounds completely bonkers, y'all? That we in our country cannot feel safe because we need foreigners to come and oomph our place. You don't feel shame that most of you don't even know the roots of your own country? You don't feel shame. And I think we have become too comfortable with sugarcoating things and laughing and smiling and surviving, that we do not understand what is really going on here. Why do you think there's a fight right now between the presidents and the churches, the main churches? Because our president sat down and said, you know what? There was hunger in Nigeria from before he was born. So please, we do not need a history lesson on how bad Nigeria has been. We need action. We need real change. We need you to step up, because if not, seriously, what is the point of our leaders if they are not leading, if they are not innovating, if they are not creating? The way we are in Nigeria right now, I keep saying it, is from a lack mindset. We do not even understand what we deserve as people in the first place. And we are so quick to compare the bad parts of other countries. But let's sit and talk about the good parts of other countries. Why can't we have that same standard here when we are not a poor country? Why is that? Why is it that they focus more instead of proper innovation and enlightening people? Why is it that even as basic as our education, we don't have? Let me tell you, when you're pregnant in Romania and you give birth to a child, you get quite a lot of money. Until that child is 18 years old, you get close to 100 euros or $100 every single month of that child's life till he turns 18. They make it easy for you. You don't have a problem going to get your pension. It has never been a discussion, but hey, here it is. You make it sound like, oh, we are so safe. Really? Okay, no problem. Mind you, we're still very different though. I don't face half of the problems you people, half of the things I complain about is not because of me. And all those people that always bring up the fact that I spoke about rent, why the fudge not? You think it is not illegal for the way they increase? You guys are struggling with this. I am making it more visible for your voices to be heard. You think I have problem eating or going to the most fancy place or even traveling at will? I don't have those problems. But if I don't listen to you guys and try to help you the way I know, then it's a problem. Majority of you spend time on all these big platforms, on all the newscasters. I see all of you messaging Donald Trump every day, please come and save Nigeria. But then you're telling me that one of them would come to this country and say, oh, but it's safe. You think they would listen to you? They already rate them more than they rate you. And I want to make sure Nigerians are rated correctly, with dignity and honor. And if you don't rise up to that and start really removing those glasses and saying, listen, let's fix this, we deserve better. If you feel you don't deserve better, then your leaders will never take you seriously. They will never treat you with importance because you don't see it. I am good. Understand this. With the money I spend in a month here in Nigeria, I can live in most places for half a year. Understand that. You're not getting the value of your money. You're not getting the safety you deserve. Close your eyes and just take a drive anywhere. I dare you to go out by 11 at night anywhere, even the new coastal road. I dare you guys. Let us speak. Tell me it is contents, no problem. Una shago learn. I'll keep speaking for the people, because if it wasn't anyone to speak about, my inbox would not be so full. Do you understand me? Oh, but it is safe. While all our leaders and rich people carry a bandwagon of security, but it is safe. Okay.